everyone. Welcome to this week's live. Oh man, just hopped off a call with the team and we've got so many exciting things coming. Today is a really, really big day. So we've got someone won an apiary on trivia. We've got the AMA, we've got Mayoral Energy Party right after this, and then we have an update. Anyways, let's just bring up Luke immediately so we can get started talking about everything that's going on. If you have any questions, please throw them in a YouTube chat. If you're hanging out in the theater right now, there is a little bit of an energy boost. So go to Terravilla North, go into the theater, and you get a little bit of an energy boost, and you can watch us live in game, which is really exciting. And yeah, let's keep it farmer friendly and bring Luke up.
Hey everybody, super happy to be here today. Excited to talk. I'm dying currently, getting everything ready for TGE. There's a lot. Obviously, tons of different partners that we need to work with, tons of different people that we need to get to sign things, move on with all of that. But we're getting there, I promise. And I really appreciate everybody's patience. Last week was fun. We released a pretty exciting update. We have more news and more updates coming this week. And then I think the following week also. So, this team is not slowing down in terms of building. We're just really in the final stages of getting everything ready for TGE. But again, I want to congratulate all of you. I want to be, I want to show you all appreciation. I want to just say thanks to everybody for helping us, make Pixels what it is. We have seen some really awesome traction in the last couple of weeks. And it's really nice to finally be tracked on chain as well. You guys will get to start to see some of the things we're doing in terms of bot prevention, detection as well. Thanks all for being here. Super excited. I think we've been sitting as the #1 game on Polygon. And I think the #1 DApp on Polygon most days as well too. So again, thank you all for showing out. Thank you here. Thank you for playing and actually building out one of the largest Web3 communities. I mean, I think it's pretty crazy at this point, right? Pixels is literally one of the biggest Web3 communities out there. It's interesting. I think somebody posted a tweet. I think Sabu posted a tweet last week that I saw where it's been interesting to see, doing these AMAs every week, how our community has changed. It's interesting is he posted a tweet of, a former community member, or no, a current community member, but like a very different outlook on what we were doing back in like March 2022. That's when the space was still full of like a lot of speculation, full of it was just a different energy, right? And it's been interesting being here with all of you for over a year now, where you guys have become advocates of what we're doing, who, I really feel like we built a community of people in Web3 who want to see Web3 get better, who are interested in the future of Web3. And that's the most important part, right? The fact that all of you are here to, really be a part of the future of Web3 rather than just for, the degen aspects of it. We really appreciate that. It's very motivating to us. And we're super excited for the next stages. Again, the strength of this community, it's what's going to power the next stages of what we're doing with TGE, with the actual game mechanics that we're releasing. So I want to, show some appreciation to all of you. Give all of yourselves a pat on the back, or a pat on the back. I said pet on the back. Maybe that's Freudian slip. Because we've been obviously prepping a ton for that. We were literally just on a meeting all over game design, future of Pixels, and the moves that we're making around that side of things. But super excited and really appreciating everybody here in this community. So Heidi, do you want to dig into a bit about what we're going to be pushing in terms of this update that's coming out this week?
Yeah. So it's already been leaked a little bit, but Tastemakers rewards are coming. They're coming out today. So we've got top 10 rewards. Obviously, those are coming from the Tastemakers Forge team, and that is rewarded in Blondie token. So there will be more information from their team on that soon. And then on the Pixel side, so should I just tell them? Should I tell them?
I think we should, because I would love to talk about it honestly, just kind of like
oh my god, okay, let's go. Okay. Top 100 and top 1000 are getting a specific type of grill. Now, these grills will be used in the future to craft certain items that come. I can't leak too much about like how it's going to work on what they create. They're going to create ingredients to craft other consumables in game, and they will come with like varying levels of like enabling crafting these consumables, right? So
Very, very ambiguous. I think what I can leak
I
on
have
this.
to keep it ambiguous just because the game design is still in the works a little bit on that front. But yeah, just take my word for it. So the top 100 will receive a galactic grill, and it will create starry ingredients using obviously astrocactus. And then we have the submarine sizzler for the top 1000, and that will create moist ingredients and it will use water mint. So yeah, really exciting stuff. Basically, when we were coming up with the idea for like what we wanted to reward you guys with, we wanted to make sure that it was a utility item that is going to further the game loop, you know, in the chapter 2 release. That's another little hint about what these ingredients are going to be used for, right? So yeah, I'm so excited that we can finally share this with you guys. And then of course we wanted to do something fun, a little like dumb little decoration. So there is a like pole with a giant burger on top of it that all 1000 are getting as well. So you will get to show off on your farm that you participated and were in the top 1000, beyond just having a grill on your land. So beyond that, so that's the Tastemakers rewards. There is also going to be a quest with I don't know how to say it.
Be careful, be careful. With Fi Gary.
Gary.
A made-up character that we thought of all on our own, Fi Gary.
Yeah. So there's going to be a quest with that NPC, which you might have seen hanging around the pet store, and then as well as a craftable grill, Barney's Barbecue. Saying these things out loud for the first time is always so like comedic. So yeah, and anyone can craft that one. So, and it's going to make dry ingredients, as you can imagine. So yeah, there's so much coming. This is such a big update. And, you know, Luke was talking about like, oh, you know, we had an update last week and this week and the next week. It's really funny because when we plan out these things, we work on a 2-week schedule, right? And, you know, a lot of our community members are probably aware of that as well. We work on a 2-week schedule and we try to release every 2 weeks. And for some reason, we end up releasing every week because we just have so much. It's wild. So that's coming today. Major alpha, huge leak. You guys will see all of that in the next several hours. But before we get to that, of course, we have this AMA. We're hanging out in the theater in game. If you're not, you should go there, Terravilla North, because you can get a little bit of an energy boost. And then we have our first mayoral energy party on Chicken Pet's land, which is 14. Oh no, I forgot the number. Oh my gosh, I'm looking. Okay, land 1458. And so Chicken Pet is the name of the user that is the mayor at the moment. And on his land, he has drawn a big chicken out of those colorful tiles. And so I went in and put a fence around it. So the energy party will be within the chicken on Chicken Pet's land. So that will happen right after the AMA, right at 1 o'clock Pacific time for 1 hour. And then a couple hours later, you will see the update and the rewards and all of that. So today's a big day. Oh yeah, not to mention, I did mention this at the beginning, but we've had trivia going for 7 days now, and it's been really successful. You guys are loving it. We're loving it, having a blast. It's really fun to create something that keeps you guys really entertained and having fun, but without that intense grind aspect, which we love. It's so much fun, but sometimes you need a break. So we just ended Tastemakers and now we're doing trivia, which is a little bit more relaxed with major rewards. And so today someone won the first apiary. It was like, what was their name? Wild and Witty. Congratulations on your new apiary. So yeah, make sure you guys are entering every single day. We've got 10,000 berry reward every single day, apiary every week, and at the end of it, an NFT farmland with an apiary on it, of course. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, and we have some cool updates coming out really soon to either like end of this week, I think, or next week, which will hopefully increase, you know, accessibility, ease of play, all of that. We also have a feature too that we've been, oh, nice. We have a feature we've been holding off to that we haven't really like announced yet as well, which we should announce hopefully this week. That was a high effort one, but we're really interested to see, what that actually does. It involves farmland, maybe making farmland like a bit easier to access. So we're excited about that feature. And then, yeah, just a note on the grills that we're about to release, or the rewards for tastemakers. For us, it was really important that we, rewarded you for the time and energy that you guys put into the game. You guys really had some dedication with the Tastemakers promotion that we did. And, we want to make sure that this reward feels good. You feel like your time is worth it. And that is, we want to be doing more rewards like this as well. So we obviously know that we need to build trust with all of you to make sure that this reward felt worth it. So yeah, we're pretty excited about what they're going to be doing. They're going to tie into, that maybe next thing that we're doing pretty tightly. So they'll be pretty important for that. So yeah, we're excited about the reward that we're about to give. This quest might give some hints on what they're going to be doing in the future, but they'll have some like pretty immediate utility right away as well.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to cover?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to cover anything else. I'm down to dig into questions, just see where we go from there. And then, yeah, we can give some updates and transparency on everything else as well. Obviously, we still haven't released the TGE date. We're working with a bunch of partners to make sure that's all facilitated. It's wrapping up on the back end quite nicely now. The current market is not moving as fast as we would want. We have all the product that we need ready for the TGE. We have most of the pieces together, and we've been putting it all together now. So, again, this is a pretty anticipated TGE, right? We have one of the largest Web3 communities, if not the largest, that's currently active right now. We're, a number one DApp on Polygon. Obviously, there's a good amount of attention and excitement just on the back end with the TGE. And, that means better and better partners are getting interested in terms of, making this, really do well. And it's just adding, more signatures that we need to collect, more forms that we need to fill out, more like diligence that we need to go through. So we're going to be very transparent. And when we have the date, we'll let you know. But yeah, we're getting there. And we really appreciate the patience with all of this. Again, we want this out as badly as you guys want to. We also want to make sure that we have the best like long-term interest for this aligned as well too. And we want to make sure that we have, everything on the back end as smooth as possible. We want to make sure that we have, trust with everybody that we're working with, and making sure that everybody has the best interest of all of you in mind as well too. Part of, the issue of, rushing something like this is you might get somebody who actually doesn't have the best interest of the project, in on some of this stuff. And that's bad for everybody. So, we're really making sure that we do our own diligence as well, making sure that we're working with the absolute best partners who have our community in mind when we're going to these next stages of TGE, pets, all of that kind of stuff. So really appreciate your patience with all of this. We're going to let you know. And then when we let you know the date, that's when the gas turns on. I have like a bunch of marketing campaigns I want to start doing that we've just been kind of sitting on. We'll get really, really noisy on Twitter. We have some fun stuff around that. And yeah, super excited around all of that. So hang in there just a little bit longer, guys. I promise we're almost there. We still have updates, content coming out in the meantime. And yeah, we have a bunch of content prep for when we actually have the TGE out as well.
All right. So if you have any questions, please put them in the YouTube chat, not the theater chat, the YouTube chat. And we will bring them up as we see them. So let's get started here. Okay. So will grills be an industry? Yes, they will be an industry. Which is kind of fun because I feel like there's a bit of a monopoly now on lands. People like, oh, I know my farm number that has my drills on the mines and whatever. So it's kind of going to force you to explore a little bit more. Or maybe people will switch up their lands a little bit. So I'm excited about that. Okay. So we're not going to have an official website with the leaderboard or whatnot, but I do think Tastemakers is going to show some graphics that provide more information about the leaderboard. So just stay tuned for that.
Yeah, if people really care, we might drop CSV or at least something to our community just so you guys can look. But yeah, we have all that data. You'll see your final rank on the dashboard, I think, when we have that back up. That might be something we put some visibility into because some of you that were borderline, like if you were like 102, 103, you actually might have got bumped into the top 100. We did a decent amount of bot removal. We caught some people in the top 10 who were cheating, which is unfortunate. We warned you though, we would catch you. And yeah, so if you were also like number 13, 12, I think you made it too, into the top 10. So congrats to you guys. That's why you should still push at the very end of things, even if you're not quite there. But yeah, we'll let you guys know your ranks. Obviously, if you have the items in your inventory, that means you made it. And yeah, if you were borderline, you might have got bumped up. So that's exciting.
Okay, we've got lots of good questions coming in. So let's try and kind of keep them on theme here. So top 100 and top 1000, are they getting the same reward or different? So you guys are getting different rewards, right? So the top 100 are getting the Galactic Grill, and then the top 1000 are getting the Submarine Grill.
Yep, and there's only 100 Galactic Grills. We'll never make more than 100 Galactic Grills. Only 1,000 Submarine Grills or Submariner, whatever it's called.
It's Submarine, is it not?
Submarine Sizzlers.
There you go. Submarine
Sizzlers. There's only 1,000 of them as well too. So
okay. All right. Any plans for PvP mechanics? It's funny because we were just talking about all of the different ways we could go on our call right before this. Luke, do you want to share anything?
Yeah, so right now I think we have a good game in terms of baseline game, but we do think we're missing things in the long run. Right now, one of the issues with our game is very content driven, where in order to enjoy the game, we need to keep releasing content for you guys to consume. And that's great. You know, our team is more than happy to sweat and release more content. But now as we're thinking about next stages, it's like, okay, how do we make it so that we're not a content blocker? Or how can we make it so that the content kind of builds itself or plays itself? And there's, you know, a few different areas that we're really interested in moving towards for that reason. Part of it is, you know, user generated content. Like, okay, can we help enable our users to create content so that we're not the blockers of content, that you guys can actually still continue to play the game? And then the interesting thing about with token incentives is, you know, we can actually create incentive structures to help you grow the ecosystem and have the ecosystem grow itself. So we're really interested in that side of things. The other thing too that we're thinking about is, you know, long-term token sinks, where the game that we've built right now is a resource gathering and collecting game, right? And these games are super fun, but then when we think about long-term sinks, we really have to think about how do we create end goals for all of you guys to enjoy the game that don't just involve resource generation. Like, we need to give you guys more end goals in terms of the gameplay. So the end goals could be one, like enjoying more content, consuming more content. That means things like quest, things like progressing through a skill tree, or like getting a really rare item. That's all content. Content can also look like things like, okay, if you host events on your land, if you like want to bring people into land, like we're always thinking about, okay, what are the core reasons we can give you to gather resources? So then the other thing that we're also really interested in, besides just like content generation and, you know, giving you guys tools to actually build out, you know, more interesting experiences on top of land, on top of our tools and inside of our ecosystem, is thinking about skill-based gameplay as well. I would say that's like a core piece of the gameplay that we're missing as well. So one part that we're really interested in with the pets is the pets give us a better base system to build around skill-based gameplay. You know, we kind of future-proof them as well. All these pets will have different stats associated with them, and how you actually grow and hatch and take care of your pets will affect these stats as well. So it gives us a good baseline in like the medium term to start to move towards that. And that's partly why we're doing a TGE right now as well too. There's a bit of a raise aspect where we want to start to raise funds to invest in areas like this that make the long-term game loop more sustainable, more fun, and you know, introduce like skill-based gameplay, and also ways to introduce more content generation. Like, we're just really thinking a lot about longevity of the game. Like, how do we make a game that people play for years and years? And what we do need to do is break through this content barrier. Like, if we're the ones who are always making content, then, you know, this game probably has a shorter lifespan than if we create a network and ecosystem of people who are making content and skill-based gameplay as well that evolves with our player base. So yes, plans. I would say PvP would be more like medium term. Like, I would say like 4 to like 8 months out. But that's partly what we're raising for and partly why we're doing a TG.
Okay. We've got tons of other questions here, and I'm just going to kind of whip through them. So the Space Grill can only be placed on space farms. No, but it will require Astrocactus, which you can only farm on space farms. So that's why it is Starry Space themed. Okay. And I think we need to explain what we're talking about a little bit more. So what about when new users join, blah, blah, blah. So this is not top 10, top 1,000 players in Pixels, the farm farming game as you're probably thinking it is. We ran an event with Tastemakers with the Forge team, and it ended. When did it end? Like a week ago. A week ago.
Yeah, a week ago.
So it was the top 10 and top 1,000 top 100 players from that specific event. So leaderboard for that is closed, unfortunately. Yeah, so you can't participate anymore, but there will be craftable barbecues, so get ready for that.
But one thing that we've been working on is a system, like this is the rewards dashboard that we've been working on, Heidi, that our developer Way's been working on, where we want to be running stuff like this basically every week, every month. And the really interesting thing too is if we invest more in the UGC, we're really interested in seeing if we can have communities host their own tournaments as well. Like the thing that we did with Tastemakers, like what if Tastemakers was able to host their own event like this, and then we had like 6 or 7 of these ongoing at once too. Like one, you could be more competitive too, that offers more chances for more types of users. So yeah, we're super interested in seeing how we can scale this essentially and create game experiences that are powered by UGC or powered by other partners that we're working with, and doing this continuously. So we also can do that inside of the Pixels game. That's part of what this new dashboard that we're going to be releasing hopefully hopefully within like the next 2 to 3 weeks at the latest, because we want to start to experiment with this before we get Pixel out. Like we want to start experimenting with like, okay, how can we gamify or create challenges for you guys to compete in the next 2 to 3 months. So the idea is like our game's not competitive right now, but we can do things like this to make it competitive and add a skill-based element. And we love that incentive design, and we love thinking about that side of things. So more stuff like this will be soon. This rewards dashboard is something that you'll find pretty interesting, I think. And I think it's kind of going to be our secret to growth early on too. We've kind of built, if you guys have seen platforms like Rabbit Hole, like BitMetis, Yield Guild is making something similar. We want our own internal version of that we own. So those platforms are nice because they bring in different distribution, but we really love the idea of hosting our own reward challenges in our own platform and allowing others who are building our ecosystem to do that as well.
All right. Okay, so this person was just talking about the rewards coming out today and that they had a hacked wallet. So unfortunately, we can't dive too deep into your individual case today, but I did just want to say, first of all, obviously, I'm sorry that happened. And unfortunately, in a lot of cases, we do, people do come to us saying, my wallet was hacked. What can we do? And a lot of the time, there's not much we can do. So I just wanted to take this as an opportunity to really stress that we highly, highly recommend that you have a Pixels specific wallet that you only connect to Pixels and our associated partnerships. So things like Seam or Premint, when we post like our specific, only connect those and go into your, if it's MetaMask wallet, check what your connected sites are and keep that wallet just for playing Pixels so that we don't run into issues like this, because I cannot explain how heartbreaking it is when land gets stolen from some of our huge users, our dedicated users, and there's nothing that we can do about it. So please be careful.
I would say this is a Web3 issue right now that I don't love. Let us know what you guys think about, because we use custodial wallets on the back end right now. We actually don't necessarily need you to log in with your MetaMask or your Coinbase wallet or any other wallet that we have supported. We could do email login. What you do miss out on that though is interoperability. But we also could potentially later add an option of like adding in wallets to accept that. So let us know your feedback on that. Wallet security is not really an issue that people should have to worry about. It's annoying that you do. And it's definitely an issue with Web3. There's companies that are working on solving this. We've seen how some of them have handled it, and it hasn't been the most amazing feedback from some of them lately. But yeah, definitely a core Web3 issue that affects us. And when there's issues in Web3 that affect us, we are incentivized to come up with our own solutions. It's kind of our thing, where we know we're early to Web3. We're still very, very early to Web3 gaming. And there's still a lot of unique issues and hard tech that we've had to build ourselves that we didn't expect to have to. And potentially this is an issue that we might start to think about okay, this is a big enough issue where it's affecting our users. Like this might be something that we want to own eventually. So as we get more funding and resources, this might be an area that we pour more time into. Until then, please practice wallet security. We can show you guys some resources to do it. We have support for ledgers. We have support for cold wallets now and delegation with delegate.cash. So, if you want, you can use those.
All right. There's so many different questions in here. Do you have any that you wanted to discuss?
I think this is a good one to talk about. Yeah, so what we have been focusing on, and this was a different KPI and a different set of metrics than many other Web3 projects a while ago, where from January 2022, after we minted our NFT collection, our focus was on community building, on player base, on retention, and other metrics that define the success of a Web2 game. For us to build out an ecosystem where land is actually valuable to people because they want to be using it in game, because they want to have the benefits and unlocks, we usually build a player base and the ecosystem around all of this first. So we've been highly focused on building that out, and that's been our metric of success, which I think we've been proving to people, hey, we can do this. We're growing. Our product has pretty good retention at this point. Your retention has actually been increasing by cohorts too, which means the game's getting better. So on all those metrics, we're doing pretty well. And now when we have a player base, we have more room to play with in terms of providing utility to land, and we have more room to play with in terms of actually bringing attention to it and using it in game. One thing that it's interesting. My stance on this has changed a lot. If you know me, I've been anti-staking since before we ever even released our game. One thing I actually am interested in now that we have a good player base, it's a problem. It's a blessing and a curse, right? Our player base is actually almost all players, or the people who own our land or assets or tokens, almost all players, which is really good. Now we can actually start to lean, now that we have this player base, into some of the more Web3 aspects, and things like staking for Berry and other tokens as well is more interesting to me now for that reason, where now that we've had a pool of good players, we can actually start to think more about things like liquidity, think more about things like that. So I actually really like Sandbox's model and how they do staking. They have it where you can stake without land, or you can stake with land and get a higher bonus. That's something that is, I would say, it's like short to medium term roadmap. I wouldn't expect that in the next month. We had talked about it, but I just don't think that's going to make it into the roadmap with our current capacity as we're getting ready for Pixel and other areas of the TGE. That is something that we're heavily interested in when it comes to liquidity incentives, things like that. And then two, what I really like about thinking about land is using it as a way to generate Pixel in terms of gameplay. So what I don't like personally is I actually really don't like passive earning in the game. I do think that actually is potentially, I think that's potentially able to be labeled as security. And honestly, if a game introduces like really passive staking mechanisms, like I don't know how I would be able to argue that that's not more like a security. So what we actually prefer is like very active gameplay in terms of generating Pixel. But that doesn't mean that we can't have land be beneficial to generating Pixel. So we love the incentive alignment of essentially setting aside pools of Pixel for ecosystem rewards that are exclusive to landowners, and then giving you a benefit for owning land, or giving you a multiplier for owning land, where there's still active gameplay involved. Like if you're a landowner, you're gonna have to play to get the Pixel, but you actually get an exclusive reward pool for owning the land, and you get a multiplier for land owned, things like that. So that's how we're viewing it more as like a a boost to the in-game rewards. And then also that's a very interesting way to give less Pixel to bots. So as we're focused on the next stages of it, TGE, rewards distribution, and those mechanics, we're really focused on bot prevention and detection, and making sure that the tokens that we're introducing wind up into the hands of real players and not people who are cheating the system or Cybele attackers. So again, that's why we love the VIP system too. We think VIPs more often than not tend to be real users, much more often than not, because it puts an economic barrier to creating hundreds to thousands of accounts. Where one, if a bot farm were to buy VIP for each of their bots in order to actually earn the Pixel token, or to buy a ton of land, net positive on the ecosystem. Actually, if they're willing to spend 10 grand a month buying out VIP, or if they were to purchase 1,000 lands Maybe that's a good thing for the ecosystem, but it's a huge economic barrier where, if we catch them in time, where it's actually taking us about an average of like 9 to 10 days to catch a bot right now, by the data. If we catch them before they have enough earned in the ecosystem, they actually come out net negative, and it creates an incentive where they actually can't bot economically. The reason people bot now is because there's an economic incentive to do it. And if we remove that incentive, and if we make it economically not viable, then it's going to be much less of a problem in the future. So when we're thinking about pixel distribution, we're heavily thinking about how do we distribute the token to real users, land ownership, VIP, two very important ways that we can do that.
All right. Okay. Will there ever be crafting for bigger chests?
I just complained about this to the team myself.
Yeah, I do. I want
was so annoyed by this. Yeah, that's an easy thing. So I'm gonna push for this again. Thank you for saying this, because I am so annoyed by that. The tiny chests too. We need large chests.
Luke, they're probably just filled with like loaves that you've begged people to give you.
Yeah, they're filled with loaves, and I have a lot of loaves, so I need more space. And I literally bought like 20 chests off the marketplace the other day. If you guys saw a bunch of chests come off the market, sorry, that was me. But I really needed them.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, if you guys ever come up with ideas like this that you want done, like added to feature requests form. We have it tagged in the Discord and Help Center, and we look at it a lot in the feedback form. So yeah, throw any ideas you have in there, because we're always reading them. All right. Did I already cover this? I can't remember.
I don't think so. No.
No? Okay, so any changes coming to the marketplace? Yes. So you've probably noticed we do this often, where we build fast and release at like 90% polish. So it's like it works, it's good, it's functional, it does the thing we want it to, but it could use a little bit more polishing, a little bit more work. And that's exactly what we did with the marketplace. We wanted to get that utility out as fast as possible. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. So changes will be coming. I think there are some updates coming today. I think.
Yeah. And again, that is a strong design philosophy I have. We still treat ourselves like a gritty startup. No part of us thinks that we've made it or figured it out yet. So we like to iterate, build really quickly, and release things that bring more value quicker. And it's an approach that is, not everybody loves it sometimes. Even internally, not everybody loves it sometimes. But I really do think the speed of execution and speed of getting, 80-20, the 80-20 rule, basically, of like getting 80% of the value out 2 weeks quicker than 90% of the value out, 4 weeks later, is definitely worth it in terms of building, because we get to experiment, get value out to you guys, get to learn what works better, and get 0 to 1 changes more often. So that's one thing internally I'm trying to communicate as well lately, where really thinking about like what are the changes that we can do that change the game drastically, rather than just introduce 2% more content, or boost retention by like 0.5% in a certain area. Like, are there changes that we can still make that drastically unlock us in terms of content generation, in terms of play time, in terms of like all these other features? And like those are the things that we want to be thinking about more. So marketplace is a really good one. I think that unlocked a lot in terms of gameplay, execution. We're gonna be looking for more things like that as well too. So do expect this more, honestly. We're gonna keep shipping things quicker, and then iterating and polishing them second.
All right, we got a bunch of questions about pets earlier. Jack asks for pet leaks every single week.
Yeah, one thing we're really debating internally on how we want the pets to look. Right now, we have all the traits ready. Honestly, one thing that we might want feedback is there's back and forth, right? You want to surprise people, but you also want to make sure that things are good. We normally take the approach of being very public with what we're building, but the pets we haven't been releasing as much to or getting as much feedback on. I'm wondering if this actually might be something that we want to get more public feedback on, in terms of what they look like, and in terms of how we are going to approach traits. We have all the baseline layers and art done. Now it's just kind of polishing, like, okay, what are the combinations going to look like? How do we want them to like come out? Like, how do we want them to be minted? Philosophy around that. I have my own opinions. But yeah, this might be something interesting to get public feedback on. Um, hmm, maybe we could start to facilitate that rather than leaking, having you guys kind of build them with us. That's an interesting thing.
When?
Yeah, so pets will release probably a week or two after Pixel. And one interesting thing too that I've been pushing for as well, and we'll see if this gets in, is I really want people to be able to mint pets, even if they have vested pixels. So this is something that I've been talking with the team about, and we'll see if we get this in. But I am going to very strongly push for it. We want the pets to be minted in Pixel. We want the pets to be basically ready when Pixel is ready. And we know pets are something that we could definitely charge ETH for. We could hype up a whole mint around it. We're still going to do the same amount of hype, but we want to do it in the Pixel token. We want to bring interest to that. One other interesting thing too, though, is since we're vesting the Pixel token, some of you all might not have the Pixel to do it if you got to play the airdrop. So I really like the idea of still vesting out Pixel, but allowing you to buy pets with the vested Pixel, essentially, being able to take the Pixel out sooner if you're spending on pets. So we'll get to you on that, but they're coming.
All right, and this is a Pixel token required to make pets?
Yeah, so our pets will be minted in the Pixel token. One thing that we're debating right now too is if we want to do the minting in game, and then send you the NFT directly to the hot wallet, or if we want to do a more traditional mint. Give us some feedback on that. I actually think it's probably better to get Berry liquidity in game, or not Berry liquidity, Pixel liquidity in game, and create that incentive structure. But obviously, if you put more layers of friction to a mint, things like that, that might lead to less mints. So there's a balance that we need to do there. If you want to move more Berry or Pixel liquidity in game, that probably sinks some of the Pixel token short term a bit more, probably puts a bit less sell pressure on the token. Or if we want to have the mint be on an L1 or an L2, that's what we have to figure out also. What's interesting right now with how we built is we can actually accept deposits from an L1 or an L2. So I think the plan is to mint the Pixel token on the L1, and then give out rewards and distribute rewards on the L2. What's interesting though is with that system, we might have liquidity on two different chains, right? We could still have deposits from both of those chains with the tech that we've done. So that's maybe a solution there. And then what we could do is do the mint either on for pets, either on the L2 or in game, and then send the NFT directly to your hot wallet. So liquidity would be in game rather than directly on the L2 to mint the pets. So you would have to deposit tokens into the game, and then you could mint the pet through the game. We'd send it directly to your hot wallet. So yeah, give us some feedback or give us some inklings on what you guys would prefer. There's different ways that we can do it. I think I'm leaning towards that solution that would also allow us to do that like vested minting thing too, where if you have tokens locked up, you'd be able to borrow from them earlier and spend them on pets.
Okay. Let's see what other questions we have here. Anything new for New Cyber? Do you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, totally. So we've been working on building out more tooling and infrastructure for teams to be building on. New Cyber has access to all the tools and infrastructure already in like an early access form. And we're really excited for them to see what they can do with it. Our tools are technical and they're not the easiest to work with. But yeah, they're they have access to them now. And as we start to build out this engine more and more, there's going to be more and more opportunities for the content creation side of things to be even easier. So yeah, we're excited to be working with that team. The team has access to all tools and infrastructure now. And yeah, we really want to see and make this process easier. So one thing on our end is we don't think the process is quite as easy as it should be. And we would love to see these tools get easier. And that's part of the work that we've been doing for the last little bit, essentially making these tools more user facing and friendly. And you're actually going to see a new feature come out pretty soon that we're experimenting with this, where we're actually allowing users to upload new pixel art pretty soon. You'll be able to do it in game. So you'll actually be able to like create new objects and decorations in game, and then they'll actually work in the Pixels farmland early on. But what we're more interested with that feature is like opening it up for world creation and world building. And that's the larger unlock for us, where it's like, okay, more people can build out things like NuCypher, build out realms, and making that more and more user friendly. Because right now the tooling is not so user friendly.
It is not. All right. Any thoughts on botting, Barry?
Yeah, I stand firm. I think botting is the biggest issue in Web3 gaming and Web3 in general. Not just, games are getting botted, but basically every Web3 dApp is heavily botted. One thing I really want to do is I want to start introducing transparency on chain with what we're doing to combat botting, because we actually do a lot. We probably banned, I think last month we did a ban of 30 to 40,000 accounts. And it does look like there have been more recent bot attacks, and that we've been getting more attention. But yeah, there's just been a ton that we do on the back end that you guys don't see. And that's what we want to do. Essentially, we want to bring transparency to all the work that we're doing. So if you guys notice, we track on-chain activity now. What we're also going to be doing is we're going to be tracking on-chain bot detection and prevention. So soon what you're going to see is those. I wish there was a better way to explore this. And I actually want to be working with some of these, Web3 trackers to, show the stats that we're doing around this. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sending the wallets that we have deemed as bots an NFT that basically says, hey, this is a bot account or a bot NFT, and then we're going to stop tracking their activity. We've already stopped tracking some activity, but that way you get transparency into what our true retention numbers are after we remove bots. You get to see, the quality of the game. And then 2, you get to see what we're doing in terms of bot detection and prevention. Right now, and if you make a free-to-play game, in Web3 especially, that's kind of the trade-off you're making, where you can either gate gaming to NFT holders or people who have certain amount of assets, or who subscribe, or you can make the game free to play. But if you make the game free to play, you have to be very on top of bot prevention and detection. So, we've gone with that route, and we put a ton of resources into that. And honestly, it's funny, that actually might be some of the deep tech that we're really building out. That might be some of the most valuable stuff that we're building. So, we've been putting a ton of work and energy into this. You're going to see some transparency into what we're doing. And believe me, we care about this a lot. That's also why we're taking these economic solutions as well too, though, when it comes to the Pixel token. And the Pixel token is generated in a very different way. So I do want to clarify that distinction, where Pixel will not face the same issues as Berry, because we're going to gate most of the rewards to landowners and to VIP members, and then also we still will have free-to-play pools of the Pixel token for allocation rewards, but it's not distributed in the same way as the Berry token is, where the Berry token is very tightly integrated in the gameplay. To earn Berry, you earn it in 2 seconds by completing the tutorial and selling crops, right? With Pixel, it's different. We have a fixed amount of Pixel token that we can give every single month, and we can't exceed that. The reward and ecosystem rewards for Pixel, they'll vest, and that vesting will actually be on chain. So we actually only have a certain budget of Pixel that we can give out every single month, and we can't exceed that because we just actually won't have the tokens to do it. With Berry, this is an uncapped supply token, and the generation of Berry is tightly tied to a single player. So one new player comes in, and that is more Berry being generated every single day by a new player, which truthfully makes it harder to manage in terms of detection, but it also is more prone to bot attacks for that reason as well. So that's why we've always liked the idea of a 2-token currency. But at the same time, we still are trying our best to get on top of Berry, and we have a bunch of other stuff coming in. So we actually just also took a few actions to combat this as well. If you don't have VIP right now, we've actually turned your withdrawal limit to 0. So you can still earn Berry in game, but you can't trade it with other players, and you can't move it to exchanges or move it to a hot wallet right now. If you're a free-to-play player, you need VIP or you need land. And that's not the ideal solution for us. But in the short term, that's a good way to do it in terms of, bot prevention and incentive alignment there. If you guys have any other ideas or if you've seen other solutions, let us know. Honestly, the only solutions we've seen besides what we're doing right now are KYC oriented. Some people are saying, when ZK proofs come out, that might make KYC, feel less like KYC. That's some of the solutions that we've seen from, some infrastructure teams in the space as well. I still really don't love that. I think Web3 needs to hit a much larger critical mass if that was ever to be the case too. Like maybe in 10 years, that's a valid solution for prevention, like proof of personhood, like something like WorldCoin. But in the short term, it's just not acceptable. Like you don't have to go through all those hoops to play a normal Web2 game, and we can't expect people to do that in Web3.
Okay. So just hopping back to someone asked about the leaderboard. So this is another example of wonderful UGC created content. So during the Tastemakers event, there was a user that created a leaderboard. And I think now their website shows the final leaderboard. It doesn't have every single address, so maybe you have to get in contact with them to get it added. But I was 708, so I did get a little bit higher after going hard in our live set for the closing party. But yeah, hop on our Discord. People have been posting the link in there. It's development web app link. But yeah, exciting stuff with that. Okay, back to questions. Will you ever increase the amount of potato that can be stacked? I agree with you. I think it should be increased. So can you add that to the feedback form and then look at it in case I forget? Because I agree with you. It should be higher. Potatoes will also be used in the recipes in the grills. Remember, we did hint at that they were going to be the utility was definitely going to be there in a couple weeks beyond them being a huge energy boost. So there you go. All right.
Here, I'll pull one up. Yeah, so this is what we're saying when we want to make things like the Tastemakers thing that we did more scalable. When I say scalable, I mean that means we want to run it like every single week, every single month. So that's actually something we've already had getting worked on, and that should, again, hopefully that's releasing like the next week or two. I really want to start to experiment with this with Barry before we get Pixel out, but this will also be the main method of Pixel generation, actually. So we'll have things like daily rewards, monthly rewards, weekly rewards. We'll have pools, rewards that you can earn through this. So we'll do a couple combinations of things. Like how these pools will work is there's going to be several types of pools. Like there's going to be a pool that's first come, first serve. So like there might be a new quest that we release, and the first 100 people that complete this quest get Pixel or get Berry. And then there might be rewards like farm 100 scarrots this day. And the reward will be split between all the people that complete that quest. So we might say, hey, there's 10,000 pixel token here for this reward. You have to farm for this task. You have until the end of tomorrow. Whoever completes this task, the 10,000 pixel tokens will be split between all of you. So we have a few different reward systems and ways that we can distribute rewards through that, and we're super interested in seeing how we can have that basically going on like a monthly, daily, weekly cadence.
All right.
Someone keeps asking about liquidity providers. So again, what I'm going to say is we are doing a pretty traditional TGE with all of the different partners. That means exchange listing, market maker, all of that kind of thing. So that's what I'm going to say to that. Don't know what else you're trying to get at that, but yeah, we have all of the, that's what's making this so logistically complicated, and what we're trying to wrap around everything right now. So yeah, this is a pretty complex launch. There's all the traditional TGE stuff involved with it. So if you're not familiar with like what TGE looks like, just go and do some of your own research on typical steps, because we're basically going through all of that.
All right. Ooh, this question. How do you see Pixels in 5 years?
Yeah, I see what we're doing kind of more like in the realm of Zynga. And I've said this a lot before too, where I see what we're working with right now as a really new, interesting opportunity to grow games and to grow a casual ecosystem the same way that Zynga had an opportunity 10, 15 years ago to build out the next generation of casual gaming through utilizing things like social gaming, through things like social networks, these new opportunities and these new technologies that we're starting to develop. We're sitting in the same space where we have these technologies in front of us, Web3, and we get to be a company and we get to be a platform and ecosystem that gets to experiment heavily with that. Now we have different approaches than what Zynga had when they were growing. Obviously, they were IPO craze, all that side of things. What we're really interested in is the community first approach. How can we build an ecosystem? How can we build a network that kind of grows itself? And how can we create a new paradigm for gaming where users own time and energy that they put into the game, where users are, part of the ecosystem and grow with us as well too. So it's a whole different paradigm, but I kind of see it in that same realm where, what we're trying to do is we're trying to build an ecosystem, not just like being singularly focused on the farmland game loop, but we want all this to tie into the long-term vision as well too. Like, again, it's really important that all of you are here building with us. You guys are active participants in it, and you guys get ownership over aspects that we're building as well too. So it's not saying, hey, we're abandoning this game loop and we're going to try to like build 20 others. It's like, hey, you're here with us, you're evolving with us, and you're part of this like ride and journey that we're going on essentially. And that's a really cool thing about Web3 that just wasn't the same in Web2, right? We want all the people who are here supporting us to be a part of what we're building in the future. And we intend to make that future as big as possible. Like, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make the biggest possible Web3 gaming ecosystem that we can. And to me, that's more the focus, focusing on the growth, focusing on the network effects, focusing on how we can actually do this in terms of the benefits that Web3 gives, rather than focusing on like the Web2 approach of like build this game, make a hit, move on to the next one.
Okay, so just a quick reminder as well. I'm going to post it in here. Go to land 1458. In 5 minutes, 5 more minutes, guys. We've got the energy party on 1458. So just a reminder, go to the MOI. It is one of the featured farms. And we'll see you there in 5 minutes. But we still have a bunch of questions. So this has been a really good AMA. You guys have been asking such good questions. So let's see what else we have in here. Okay, so yeah, this is talking about UGC, which we've talked about a lot. So yeah, potentially in the future, we can do fun things like this. I know a user the other day was begging me to be able to create like picture frames with their NFTs in it and all of that. So yeah, that's possible. It might be possible, on the UGC front. And I say this every single time we talk about UGC, but go get practicing. Pixel art is really hard. The quality of the graphics we have in our game right now is very high. So just make sure that you're matching that standard before you try to submit something. And obviously make sure it's farmer friendly. We don't need any not safe for work content, of course, will not be accepted.
So there will be a public sale of Pixel. We'll be on launch pads, and we'll let you guys know information around that. Yeah, right now we're just basically trying to get the best launch pads to work with. We have standing offers from all that. So yeah, there'll be a public sale, and we'll let you all know that.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, this is a good question. Yeah. Oh, it's like the same question basically. But is mobile still coming? Yeah, will it be on a website?
Yeah, we really wanted to release it today. There was just like 1 or 2 things that we wanted to polish and update first, I think, that we need to QA. So I'm not sure if it'll be ready by the end of this week. There actually is a chance it'll be either end of this week or early next week when we release mobile web support. So yeah, you'll be able to play Pixels in your mobile phone. I think you'll either need MetaMask installed or Coinbase Wallet installed. But then yeah, you'll be able to play it through those apps on the go with you, which is really exciting. And yeah, we've like done a ton of improvements there, like a whole new UI UX essentially, a bunch of improvements that are specific towards mobile, and it works pretty well. Looks pretty good. We're really excited about it.
Okay, we already talked a lot about stuff like this, but is there any last minute things you want to say for this specific question? So what will happen to Berry and Pixel? What will happen to Berry when Pixel is launched? Any plans to support its price and fight bots?
Yeah, so the biggest thing with Berry is we actually have balanced it all right on the 1-to-1 scale. The biggest thing that we can do to make sure that Berry is healthy is by preventing and fighting bots. There's a theoretical side to tokenomics, and there's a practical side, and I've said this a bunch. But yeah, the bot detection and prevention is probably the biggest and like highest leverage thing that we can do. And we're putting a lot of resources and energy into that. Yeah, it's interesting because it's a game of cat and mouse right now. But we're really focused on fighting that. We have a few different things that we'll be launching this week. We also already introduced like some measures this week as well in terms of lowering withdrawal limits for non-VIPs and landowners, things like that. So yeah, again, practical side and theoretical side, we're really focused on that. And for us, there's an incentive to keep Berry healthy as well because it's a draw into the game initially. The token can be used for the free user retention and acquisition, and it's a very valuable tool for us for that. And, we're really interested in keeping the ecosystem healthy for that reason as well. It helps us grow the ecosystem. It helps us get new users. It helps us do all the things we want to accomplish. So there's a lot of incentive for us to think about it in that way as well.
All right. This person posted this at the very beginning, and I think they're talking about trivia, but I did want to bring it up just because Hath has given a lot of encouragement with their hints. So trivia, yeah. Every week, so the week starts on Wednesday, questions the easiest on Wednesdays, and then they get harder throughout the week until Tuesday is the hardest one. And so a lot of these questions you will have to rely on some like OGs in the space. And Hath is an incredible content creator who has been sharing hints about the answer to the question every single day on his Twitter. So I just wanted to shout out Hath because it's been wonderful seeing that, the community working together. Yeah, so we've got the mayor party right now. All right. Oh, shoot. I got some work to do. Hold on. All right. Luke, do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, 1 second. Oh, geez. I showed up on here.
What?
Showed up on here, and there were like thousands of hearts. And just slowed my computer.
Oh, I know. I love that. It's so fun. All right.
Yeah, I can share its screen in a second. Give me 1 minute. What's the farm number?
1458.
1458. Yeah, I still have full energy. I'm not gonna lie.
I do too, actually. I didn't get time to play a lot this morning. It's been a busy day, prepping for the release later, which is exciting. But yeah, okay. So let's all go to 1458. In the chicken, there is a few hearts in there. So yeah, energy party 1458. I wonder where chicken is. Chicken Pet, where are you?
Missing his own party.
Well, I think everyone was in the theater, getting those last little energy there. Okay. There we go. Here we go.
There it's hard to miss.
Air party in the chicken.
Amazing.
How fun is that? I love it.
Some people last minute getting rid of energy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, good idea.
Who do we have here? We have Vanquish. Some nice lines.
I like the turquoise and red one. It's a cool one.
Sweet little bully. Jules, Nenzi. Flepsid, Dark Mike.
Crowding the hearts. I love it.
Kill the Ape. That's a cool ape. Ooh,
great one. Yeah. I know.
What NFT collection is this? Is this a new one?
Wait, I'm not looking at you. 1 sec. What one?
It's like gargoyle looking thing.
Oh, I think that's is it Generative Dungeon?
Oh, that might be it, yeah.
Maybe?
No, didn't we turn on a new one today?
I have no idea if we did.
I think so. Angry Dynamites or something like that, right?
Oh no, they were turned on like a couple weeks ago, I think. But yeah,
I think they just announced it then though.
Oh well, maybe. But they've been live for a minute, I think. I think our last promo video I actually used theirs because I enjoyed it. Hold on. Let me go to Twitter.
Yeah, they just announced it today.
Oh well, I think they've been live for a few days already.
Why is this guy's legs moving so fast?
So they're one of the collections that decided to only integrate only have one avatar for their entire collection, so they all look the same, but they're kind of fun. They're kind of cool, and that's why I used it. Actually, if you go back to May 16th on our page 17 update where we did the launch of trivia basically a week ago, the Quantum Recombinator and all of that, or not a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, time moves so fast. Yeah, you can see me walking around as that avatar. But yeah, it's a good one. I like that one. Chicken pen. What do you? Why?
He asked to trade.
Oh, he's probably trading with other people. Player busy.
Rude.
Did you empty out your storage on purpose?
I want you to know what I'm up to.
Oh my gosh. I never know how to say it properly. I would say Dindino, but that's not what it is. But anyways, that one that has like a mohawk.
Yeah? Is that a grail?
Cool. I haven't seen that. Turby.
Yeah, Turby.
That's sick. Now I already have 2. Now I want a 3rd. Maybe I'll hop over to that. What am I? Din Inho. Din Inho.
Yeah, they're not making it easy. I have one.
I love them. They're so cute.
They are cute.
And they're kind of bigger now, so they look ridiculous.
They do.
I love the rainbow rats too. I really wanted one, but couldn't find any that were actually. I don't think any are for sale anymore. I actually just looked recently.
I know somebody in the community was like showing this rat, and they were like about to buy it, and I sniped it from them.
I do remember that. No comment.
I'm not sure if I didn't even tell them I did that, honestly.
Where are you? Oh, chef hat. There you go. I'm the one with. I have the party hat. Hello. The rat party. It always becomes a rat party.
I need some more NFTs. Guys, what NFT should I get, honestly? Maybe I should get a lion. Maybe it's about time. Lions look good now. Show me an NFT that we should get. The Gridcraft one kind of looks like me. I like it for that reason.
Get a farmhand. You have farmhands, right?
Yeah, I think it's in a different wallet.
Someone recently sent me a Voxelville avatar, which is kind of cool. They just look kind of like different. They look almost like 3D.
That whale. Why is it still like that?
Honest, don't get me started.
It wasn't like that before.
No, but Hans, like I get now. I kind of want one. I know, I'm not gonna lie, I did go look at them, but I have no problem with the whales. They're great. They're too big, but they're great. Hans is like, I think I described it as like a chewed up piece of gum. It scares me.
I'm gonna get one. Oh, there's a farming one.
There's a farming whale.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
0.05 ETH. Is it worth it?
Han said Heidi is so mean to me. I'm not mean to you. I just find it terrifying. I do. Honestly, yesterday I was at WeWork and a guy next to me saw me playing Pixels or just like in the game, and he, asked, "Oh, what's that?" and started talking, and I hit the home button. I was like, "This is Terravilla. This is the town." And the naked whale was standing right there. And I was like, "Please don't ask about the giant naked whale. Please don't." And he didn't. So we're good. Oh my gosh.
I'm buying a whale.
Han said he's going to send you a farmhand that looks like you.
Oh, nice. Oh my God. $17 gas.
Oh God.
$30 NFT, $17 gas.
Oh my gosh. Just wait. Just wait.
No, I
although now you're talking to like 80 people. I mean,
how long is this going to take to update?
Sometimes you have to refresh the NFT itself on OS.
yeah, since we use the OpenSea API,
Yeah.
they cache data, which is smart on their end. But if you refresh their API, like if you literally just go into OpenSea
Yeah.
and go to more, refresh metadata, you can get an updated thing. Big turnout for this energy party. Nice job, Mayor. Maybe they'll forgive you for lowering crop sell prices.
I haven't heard any complaints about that. So.
Oh, hey, we have I think we have the founder of Seam here getting
Oh,
some energy.
wait, with who?
This is Nick, right? Doxed him, but
It's not. Yeah. I need to go back to my rat. I think I'm walking around as my hot dog. Like my hot dog is the most like obviously it's me. All right. Wait, where's Nick? What does Nick look like? First.
he's a pixel beast.
Nah.
They're hard to find now. They're very tiny.
Small.
Okay, I'm gonna refresh my NFTs. Nope.
Oh, there's so many purple Dininhos.
I'm going to need a refresh.
Wait, now I don't know what to do. Do I hang out as my rat or my Dinino? Ah, there's a divide.
Ooh, whale. Okay, I have and a farmhand. Nice. Run this bug a couple times where it doesn't want to select my NFT for a little bit. Oh
my goodness. Saw you pop up real quick there. Like the shirt.
I do like being this big. It does feel good.
I know, I honestly want one.
It kind of makes sense, honestly.
It's so funny.
For whales.
They're so ridiculous.
Like it only makes sense for whales.
So Dininho is Portuguese, someone mentioned when you pronounce it.
Oh my, this feels good. I'm not gonna lie. This feels real good. It feels so powerful.
Makes it a little easier. Oh, you got a hat. That's a good one.
Nice.
You got a good one.
Yeah, it sounds like there's some more community run NFTs coming out sometime soon as well. One thing I want to do, maybe next AMA, we can start to highlight and shout out what some people in our community have been building, because some of this stuff is really, really cool. Like I want to give a shout out to it's Web3 Triads, right? That new guild that's popping up. Yeah, really interesting stuff. Like that website looks so good. Props to all of you who made that. And yeah, it's really, really interesting. So yeah, what's cool is we've seen guilds pop up that are pixels first, but they're also expanding into other Web3 gaming. I love that. I think that's like something we definitely want to start encouraging more and more. And especially when the Pixel token comes out, our rewards that we've set aside are called ecosystem rewards. They're not just, gameplay rewards. And it's for things like this as well. Like we want to really incentivize you guys to create content like that. It's super valuable for everybody.
For sure. Yeah. If we want to shout them out, I'll create like a form and people can just like submit everything that Pixels related they've made and we can like go through it. That would be really fun. I just don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, honestly, maybe even that's something we do on a weekly basis from now on. Just like here's what's happening in the community. Check it out. Interested in that.
Yeah. I'm just writing it out. Cool.
One thing we do need to work on soon is Polygon NFT integrations, especially if pets are going to be on Polygon. I mean, what's interesting is, yeah, maybe we can start to finally get connected with the DeGods and Utes team too. I'd love to see them in here. That one you might just need to spam them. That one I want to do only if they do it with us. So yeah, if you guys want to see once we get Polygon NFTs in the game, maybe spam them. Maybe we'll just cover cost. And
oh, there you go. You don't want to trade?
No.
All right.
Whales only. We have a bunch of Gridcraft identities gathering together. Nice.
Oh wow,
Jira,
yours
Draw,
really looks like you. Yours made
Sock,
you.
Zombina. Chicken's trying to give away hot potatoes.
Oh my gosh, that's huge to give away. Those are a very high energy source. No Grills Gang in here. All right, I'm gonna walk around as my Grills Gang. I'm gonna bite you.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, this is what we love about Web3, right? The interoperability and the community aspect, like it's super special and it doesn't exist in other games. Like the fact that we can just all switch to an NFT, like have something to connect with that is outside of our game, like it's a huge unlock, right? Like look at how many people here have external NFTs. Like it's a huge part of what we're doing. And I think one of the coolest parts of Web3.
Absolutely. And you know, when we first started doing this, we did it you know, partially for as a marketing tool, you know, like let's give utility to these other communities and then they'll come and play pixels and it'll be really fun. And then we saw the reverse happen after a while where people are like, you seeing Hans like this giant whale, you're like, I want to be a giant whale. And now you have basically bought into another community and it kind of just like expands the interoperability, but like of community building across Web3, which is just so magical. What are you doing?
I'm giving away so much stuff.
Wow, that was really generous of you.
Stimulus. Why are you trading with me? You just want to show off your NFT to the entire stream?
I mean, that's a great one. So
Oh, this is a barn owl, right? The dude.
dude, no, Dalduck.
Well, now, yeah.
Oh, did they swap? Sorry,
Yeah.
someone's trying to trade with me. Dark Mike. Sup,
Oh,
Dark
this is the Chibi Labs, right?
Okay, I can't see you. Someone's trying to trade. Hold on. Which one? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Nice. This is a Galactic Ape. This one. That was.
I forget. There's so many. I used to know. I used to know them all.
Geez, so many rats right now.
Yeah.
MFR. Death Bats Club. Death Bats Club is interesting to me. I think
they're cool. They're creepy. They're very cool.
Yeah, the community is mostly. It seems like a like more Asian oriented community, if I'm correct too, which is interesting. Like it's not. We haven't tapped into those markets as much as we could. That is a Grail subway rat with tiger stripes.
Wait, what? Where?
Vanquish, obviously. Who else would own that?
I don't see it. Is it in the crowd of
Yeah,
rats?
top left.
Oh yeah, that's a sick one. I always like that one.
Oh, celebrity here, player W3.
Yeah, the zombies are like OGs.
Mhm.
Creepy. I like them though.
Move time zones to be here. Jeez. Hans, you have so many NFTs also. Wow.
It's insane. Hans has like an excessive amount. Amazing.
Zenape.
A robot. I see a robot. I'm gonna
Yeah,
swap
Robot Hearts Club.
Hans. No, robot feelings.
Oh, Robot Feelings. Yeah.
Hans gave me this guy. Actually, it's very cute.
Dizzy Dragons. Something about Dizzy Dragons. I don't know what it is. I think it's like a secret society. Everybody I know or have seen that owns a Dizzy Dragon, it's like
okay, except I own one, but it does kind of feel like that.
yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out myself though. Like I don't actually know what cult I've joined, but
no, there's something going on in Dizzy Dragons that I don't think people know. I think it's just like a secret low key thing where it's like a lot of relatively influential Web3 people are in it, and don't they talk about it, but like not in the way that you would talk about like another Web3 community.
well, I guess I'm a part of the club without even realizing. I don't see any Zenapes. I'm gonna swap to my Zenape, except I think it's quite small. There you go. Chicken head. Yeah, the chicken heads are great. I love the chicken heads. They turned out pretty well. They're so cute.
Kaiju Friends, Foxy Fam Club. Other ones. Oh, skeleton ones. What are those called again?
Spectral Skellies.
Spectral Skellies. Yep. This is Generative Dungeons, right?
Hold on, it froze. The Wizard, yeah, that is Generative Dungeons. Yes. Yeah, that one was a really interesting collection because they're technically like a game, right? And so their NFTs have like a very small little like avatar on them. So they created art for those specific little avatars, and they're all completely different. I think they are our only collection where all of the like the I don't know 4 or 5 different types of avatars, they're completely different looking. Like they don't look alike at all. It's pretty cool because there's like a wizard and there's like a little dragon, and yeah, they're cool. I like those ones a lot, and the art turned out really well.
He does.
You can find chicken because you can see the flowers flying out of him.
But lots of people have switched chicken heads. Love it.
That's great.
I don't know if anybody else has a rare NFT. I think this is Pixel Cat Club. Let us know. Or switch to it and we'll shout it out.
Pixel Cat Club, they were like really loud for a while. I haven't heard of them in a minute. I wonder what they're up to.
Yeah, same thing with, remember Salty Sharks?
Yeah, they're making a lot of noise too. I wonder what they're up to as well. Oh, there's another naked whale.
Jeez. I think other people have bought whales. I saw this whale on the market. I think this is the next floor one. I think the dude just bought this.
Oh gosh. That one still, I think I don't like it, but I think it's a little better than the pink one.
I didn't like the nose ring on it. That's why I didn't get it.
I like yours. I like the t-shirt on it, although it looks like it's sleeping.
Global Bears. Ooh, nice. I haven't seen this one in a while.
Oh yeah. I haven't either, actually.
Habibis, right?
Habibis? I haven't seen a Habibi in game in forever.
Or is this a different one? There's 2 that are like this, right? This is Habibis though, right?
Oh.
Or is this
no, that's not a
There's two with a similar theme.
Habibis and BBs.
Saudis? Do we support that one?
No. They don't look like that anyway, though. I don't think.
It's a Habibi, yeah.
Wait. Oh, over there. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong. Okay. Yes. Yeah. That's a Habibi or a BB. BBs.
Oh, like, and BBs too, right? Yep.
Like the children or something, whatever they are.
Have a Zen 8.
That's me.
There is no bigger flex than equipping a Secret Society of Whales right now. Ooh, that's a good. Is this Foxy Fam? That's a nice one. Or no, what is this? It's not Fox Fam.
There's Fox Fam and there's Foxy Fam.
Oh.
I know. So I think that one might be Foxy Fam, and then the one that you own is Fox Fam.
Fox Fam. Okay.
I think.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Using.
It's not the same, but they're close. Yep. Foxy Fam, not Fox Fam.
Yeah.
Do you own like 5 of these, or does this animate? That's pretty cool.
Which?
Yeah, look at my screen right now. This Foxy Fam, its shirt changes colors.
Oh, really? Wait, hold on. I can't see proper. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, it's like rainbow, kind of like moving.
Yeah, that is really cool.
The rainbow one is Hans. I know that. Hans bought that before we even went live with them because he saw that we were going live with them. And then there was a huge delay for some reason, and he kept nagging us like, I want to use my rainbow fox. It's always, that's the hard part about being in the know about what integrations are coming, because you want to buy them before we even release them because you're like so excited about
insider trading.
I guess. Oh, someone asked a question. So any thoughts about creating rooms/areas that require a specific NFT collection or avatar to gain access? So do we still have that mechanic?
I think the engine supports that. Yeah.
Because we used to have that before the chapter 1 release. A lot of NFT lands were owned by communities, and they would, gate it with the NFT, and you could only go onto the land for to farm or party, have an event, or whatever it may be if you were a part of that collection. I think we still have that mechanic. If you own land, you can double check. I just haven't looked at that in a minute.
The one reason why we haven't pushed that yet is because there's not really an advantage in game to keeping things private. And if we had a reason for that, it would make a lot more sense. But then when we move to things like events, that side of things too, that might be more interesting again. But yeah, that's just like why we haven't focused on it. It doesn't make sense in the game right now to have less people visit your stuff, but it could soon.
Okay, I'm just going to pull up this comment because this user is always so kind and so lovely. Comes every week to every AMA, says the nicest things all the time. Thank you so much for your kind words and for being here and for being just like such a light in the chat every single week. It's so wonderful. So yeah, have to go. Thanks for the interesting AMA and also your consistency, keeping us all informed. Like I said before, I really love your enthusiasm. Just thank you. Thank you so much.
Chicken's slowly growing a cult. We might need to be careful on this.
I think we're already there. We're all partying with chicken heads on Chicken's farm.
Yeah, this is too much power.
Wait. I think it's someone's birthday today. Hold on. Is it Jen's birthday today? Wait. Hold on.
Sophia's?
No.
That's a player W3.
Oh, sorry, my reaction. Basically every single day people wish Sophia a happy birthday. Every single day.
Yeah, how have I not noticed that?
So yeah, can't tell you. No, wait, someone was talking about how I think it was their birthday today. Who was it? I think it might have been Jen, but I don't want to like tag someone and then it's not actually their birthday.
Well, I mean, you guys do it with Sophia, so why not also Jen?
It's not Sophia's birthday. I promise.
There's no harm in getting it wrong if it is in Jen.
I think it's Jen's. I'll find it. There's just like I type birthday into the search on Discord and it's just like happy birthday Sophia like on repeat every day.
I mean, that's kind of, yeah, good for you, Sophia. That's good energy to start your day, waking up every day like it's your birthday.
Oh, it's next Wednesday for Jen. Okay, so it's not today. Okay, next week. Next week, Jen's birthday. And Jen, for those of you that don't know, is a big player of Pixels and a wonderful member of our community. Oh my gosh, I didn't look at the YouTube chat for like a few minutes. I come back, it's just happy birthday, Sophia.
Yeah, that's a lot of birthdays to have in a short time, though.
Yeah, well, someone
Sophia is 254 years old, says Elephantia.
Oh yeah, at least. Yeah, no, someone was saying that her birthday is 364 days a year. And I was like, what about the other one? And they said the date that was her actual birthday is not her birthday. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm sorry. This is only gonna make it worse, Sophia. I'm really sorry. Like we actually just kind of yeah, we're not helping.
This is nice. Pixels has restored my faith in the potential of Web3. It's funny because we joke about this a lot. People ask us all the time, what's it like building in a bear market? It doesn't feel like it with you guys here with us because we don't notice it. Like the enthusiasm, the excitement, the commitment, all of it is here in the community and it's just magical. It's kind of a shame that I showed up to this party with full energy. Sad.
I'm just here for the vibes.
A waste. Yeah, me too, really. I mean, look at all the chicken heads. Should I just swap for chicken head? I love doing these little heads in game. I mean, you already know that, Luke, but they're so fun.
Yeah, no, they are really fun. Oh, okay. One thing that we could use ideas from you on is like we want to start to build more community on Twitter, if that makes sense. Like how can we do something where people see us on Twitter and like see all of our community members on Twitter and like they know, hey, this is like a part of the Pixels community. Like Limit Break, they do the like free own tag in their bio. Yeah, I just wonder if there's something like that we can do, and I would love to start to incentivize that kind of stuff as well. But yeah, if you guys have any feedback or like ideas on that, let us know because we want to start to show this community a bit more on Twitter, and just like build like a more cohesiveness there.
Yeah, and so like ideas that you guys can, I don't know, tell us if you like them or we can flesh them out or whatever. Yeah, some people, there's hashtags. It's like the most obvious one. People use hashtags, hashtag pixels, whatever. I don't know. There's also, putting stuff in your bio. Some people even have, like a template of what their PFP will look like if they're, part of the Pixels community. Maybe they have like a very specific style of profile picture, or maybe their banner is like a template Pixels, something like that as well.
Yeah,
like
maybe like a farmer emoji next to all of our names. But we have to coordinate that. We have to make it so that we all do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, let me know.
A pitchfork emoji next to our names.
Let us know. Yeah.
There's a tractor emoji, right? I
Yes.
feel like that should be it.
Yeah, I mean, we've given out both at this point. Yeah, pitchforks, I think they should have all arrived by now. I don't know if you guys saw one of the players that won, but it arrived in a box and the forks had like stabbed through the bottom of the box. I feel bad for the delivery person, if I'm being honest, because yikes. But anyways, they used it immediately. They were like posting photos of them like using it on their lawn and stuff. It was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, we'll coordinate that. I love the idea of us all adding just a tractor emoji next to our or something like that. Or yeah, we have been thinking about this too. Or at least I've been thinking about this, like a PFP
Mhm.
badge generator. Like I like the rings around stuff.
Mhm.
Like the rings around profiles. It's tricky if you have an NFT as your profile picture already or something like that. It kind of competes.
But maybe that's when we can do like the template kind of thing, right?
Yeah, or the cover photos are interesting. Like I do think it'd be interesting to like find a way to have it so that we can tell if your cover photo is like a picture of your land or something like that. What's annoying about this stuff is the Twitter API got significantly more expensive in the last 2 months, where this stuff is kind of cost prohibitive in some areas. Um, silly, 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 but thing.
It is busy. How many people are here right now? 175 players are on this land right now. Oh, six.
Yeah, it was probably more a half hour ago too. That's nuts. I
Yeah.
think we have what, like 300 players in the AMA
Yeah,
or
in
in the
total over the period of last week's AMA. That
no,
was
we had 300 at one time
oh, did
during
we?
the AMA yesterday or last week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Someone's asking all about like the marketplace and how listings should be in what order and all that. So like I said, some updates are coming. I still think there might be further updates after the update that's coming. But yeah, don't worry. Polish, it's coming. We agree it needs some work. It's being worked on. We are just chilling.
Yeah. On that note, though, it might be time to wrap things up in terms of
Time to
streaming
wrap
soon.
this up.
We've been on meetings, me and Heidi, since 10:30. Um, yeah, I haven't ate yet. I don't know if you have.
I had breakfast. So yes,
Nice.
I have eaten. Yeah. All right. Well, okay, we can wrap this up here. Thank you all for coming out, hanging out with us for, it's been almost 2 hours now. It's been a blast. You guys asked incredible questions today. It was wonderful. If we missed any, throw them in one of the general chats on our Discord. Continue to have fun at the party. It will end in about 20 minutes. And by end, I mean just the energy portion. You guys feel free to hang out in the chicken as long as you please. And then we have the big update coming later. We talked about all the things that were coming in the update already. We spilled all of the tea. So if you missed it, you can listen to the beginning of this AMA again once I end the broadcast. You'll be able to replay it on YouTube and just get all of the insider info before the update later. I think the update will probably come around 5 p.m. Pacific time, which is in about 3 hours. That's rough. Don't hold me to it. But yeah, amazing. Thank you all. And we will see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.